Good afternoon. I'm going to go over this past week's trades. Before I get into that, I did finish the week with, 23 wins, 7 losses, with a win rate for the week 76.67. Usually if it's below 80%, I feel like it's not that great of a week. It's still a decent week, but compared to the other last 3 weeks, I mean, it's not quite as good as the other 3 weeks. I mean, I had 7 losses this past week, and the last 3 weeks I've only had 6. So that's, I don't know. I mean, anything over 60% is good, but in my eyes, I'd like to be over 80%. I took a lot of unnecessary losses this week, and I just shouldn't have done some of the things I'd done with those losses, but it is what it is. There's no redo-overs, so just have to. I should have just been more patient. I shouldn't have taken the losses. I should have had only probably, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 losses, not 7. So, but whatever. 76.67% is still better than probably 99% of the services out there. They can't even get 50% of them right because they just throw darts and just hope something sticks. I don't throw darts. These are my trades, these are my plays, and I want winners. I don't want losers. So we'll get into the trades on Monday. Before I get into the trades, if you want to be part of the room, part of the calls, you can just go to the link in the description of the video, or the link is in my bio on Twitter and StockTwits. Also, you can go on Twitter and you can see the timestamps. That's the main reason why I type out the alerts, because you can voice them on the mic, which I'm not going to do. But if I did, there's no proof that I made the call. So I like the fact that I can type it and there's a timestamp that proves that I didn't make the call at that particular time. So I'll start with Monday. Let's see. Monday's first. I don't have the timestamp on that one. Why did I not post a timestamp on that one? We have to go in the room to look at that. I shouldn't have done that. I don't know why I did that. Okay, let's look at Monday's alerts. Okay, in the room you can see the timestamps. For some reason I didn't post it on Monday. I must have had a brain fart that day. But anyways, the first trades were SPY, SPX all day. Okay, and the reason I play SPY and SPX on Mondays, because just 1, it's expiration day, so it's going to be cheap. 2, the weeklies, Mondays are very, very expensive, except for a few tickers, and when the premiums are too expensive, they burn off through the day. Sometimes Monday can be choppy and they would just burn, and it's just too much risk. And Tuesdays are better. So Mondays I usually just play at SPY. I have like a set schedule, so that's just how I've been doing things, and you stick to what works and what you're good at, and that's what I do. Once in a while I'll play something that's not SPY on Monday if it looks really good and the prices aren't too bad. But let's see, bringing up Monday, 21st. Okay, there's SPX. Now, okay, you got Friday on the left side, and Monday right here, and you got obviously SPX on the right, SPY. Now, SPX and SPY, they look different because there's no after hours trading or pre-market trading at SPX like there is in SPY. So I grabbed SPY 328 calls at 88 cents. Now, the reason, what I was thinking was, they had this big gap down. I mean, this was Friday, big gap down, and it consolidated. So I was thinking, okay, we went from 332 and we're opening down here in the 325, which is a 7-point drop, and so I was almost 100% certain that it was going to pop it open, and it did. So right at the bell, 328 calls at 88 cents. It started to go up, and I said right in the room, if it gets over this range right here, gets over this 326.70 area, that it was going to pop. and it's because one of the things you need to get in before it breaks the levels, because if it breaks the levels, usually it's a strong move and you're going to be chasing half the movement up. So when it gets right into right here, right around the 326.20 area or 326.15, right before it's getting ready to push, that's when I want to get in before the break, because usually when those breaks happen, they're strong. So I got in, and it was an unnecessary loss. I mean, no, it wasn't unnecessary. I shouldn't say that. I mean, it went right straight to my thesis, and it just it was a fake out, and it just dumped. So after seeing that, I did grab 321 puts at 10.05, which should have been right here when it broke this little area. I got the 321 puts at 80 cents. Now they went from 80 cents to 154 and that little drop. Then I ended up grabbing 325 calls at let's see, 1050, which was right here. Now, as you can see, I bought the breakdown, and when I went, the green candle came up for a reversal. I mean, I'm also thinking in my head that there's already a 7-point drop from here, and I wanted to get in, so it dropped another $3. I mean, $3. So it's like a 10-point drop. So it's got to reverse. I mean, actually, it doesn't have to, but I'm thinking reversal right here. And when I saw that green candle, I grabbed it right over the top of it, and I grabbed the 325 calls at 69 cents, and this little pop right here, right to here was a 69 to 84. Well, not SPY. Just SPX was too expensive at this point. I was looking at it, and SPY was just better risk wise. So I always look at the risk. I don't look at the gains, because risk is what's important. Obviously, gains are important too, but not the risk is definitely more important. You're gonna understand what looks too risky, premium wise too. In the time of day. Now, second, I had the next call was 325 calls. That was at 126, so that was right here. Yeah, got the 325 calls at 126. 126 must be right here. Yeah, right in here. Push through VWAP. So 325 calls at 72 cents, and right here, because it was ended closer to end of day, but afternoon time premiums were a little better, and they were at the money calls, I believe, and or close to, and they went from 72 cents to 90 cents right there. So I pretty much nailed that little dip too. Then she sold off, and we tested the lows, and that's when we had the massive play. I would grab the SPX 3260 calls. I grabbed them at 251, so which was right here. Now these SPX calls, I shouldn't say calls, but SPX alerts at the end of the day, they're very tricky to time. You usually get massive reversals. Usually it can be at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30, 3:45, sometimes even 3:55. So when they do come, they're very strong, and it's all about timing, and nailing the actual time can be very tricky. So yeah, so I grabbed the 3260 calls on SPX at 251, which was right here, right in this candle right here. And as soon as they started to perk up a little bit, I grabbed them, and as you can see, 3260 is right there. So I mean, 20 points on SPX is nothing, because I mean, right here I went from 323, or actually we'll say 3234 to 3280. So I mean, it went almost 50 points right there. So these calls went from $1.10 to $23.30 just right here. I mean, that's just insane. So that was Monday. Tuesday was a good day. I had 7 wins and no losses, so that was definitely a good day. Let's see. Now I started with Roku and Disney. No, not Disney. I don't know what I'm saying. Roku and BA. 22nd right here. And BA. Now I grabbed 22nd, which is right here. Okay, just making sure I get the right days up. Okay, so I grabbed Roku 172.50 puts at the open. Now, where was Roku? Roku, as you can see right here, it had a massive pop on Monday, and this is where when price gets too disconnected from the moving averages, like right here. I mean, price is way up here, and the RCT trend line's right here, and the 200 EMA is way down here. I mean, there is a huge gap between the price and the moving average, and they act as magnets. So when things get too over extended, they will come back and retest the moving averages at some point, usually within the next day or two after the big run. So that's what I was looking for, and it did not do it here. But on Monday, I grabbed the Roku drop rated open. I said right in the room that if it gets underneath this 187 area, I'm grabbing puts. And I grabbed the 172.50 puts at right at the bell, 9:31, and they went from 119 to 188. And I mean, as you can see right here, price is 182. So I had to go $10 out of the money because they're just so expensive because it's Tuesday still. So that was play number one. And then BA calls was play number two. Now I grabbed the 170 calls at 9:38. Now, as you can see, BA is just it just can't get out of its own way. I mean, just this thing is just so frustrating to watch because it used to be such a strong mover, and just lately it pops a little and gives back all its gains, or it just bleeds. So I did grab the 170 calls at 77 cents at 9:38, which was rate pushed through VWAP, as you can see, over this high, previous day's high. So I grabbed the 177 calls at 77 cents, and they went to $1.28 rate in that little pop right there. So that was a nice little run. Then I grabbed SPY puts. Now let's see. 22 right there. Now, as you can see, the SPY, I mean, we had that big pop at the end of the day on SPY. So, and then what time did I grab them? I grabbed at 9:37. So right, 9:47. So yeah, right in here, push through VWAP. Now, as you can see, after the big run up we had on the end of the day Monday, it consolidated, came up and tested the RCT trend line and rejected. And as soon as it got pushed through VWAP, that's when I ended up grabbing the puts, and they didn't go that much. It went from 95 cents to $1.32 in this little push. So it did go back up and drop more. So that was nice to see. The next one was Lululemon, Lulu. Now, Lulu, I've been watching for a while because of the nasty ER that sell off from that. So, okay. This was on my radar all week, and it finally did break out. So I did grab Lulu at 10, which was right here, right in this area right here. And as you can see, I mean, when it got over this, I was just very hesitant about it. I just didn't really feel like that it was going to have a huge move, but I knew it was coming, but I just didn't know when. When it did gap up and it came back and retested the 20 EMA, it started to pop up over it. So when it pushed through VWAP, that's when I ended up grabbing it. I grabbed it at 10 o'clock. So it was right here. I grabbed it, and as soon as I grabbed it, it popped up. It came back down, then I did run. So they did end up going from $1.16 to, let me see, to $5.05, $5.05, and if he held to the dip and it ran all the way up, went to $5. So that was a good run. Now I have to look in the room for the actual alert, because some reason Discord blended the alerts again. I have to look at the timestamp. Now I grabbed BA puts at let's see, what's it say? 10:07 a.m. So let me bring back my thing so I can see what I'm doing. 10:07. Gotta remember that. Okay, 10:07, which should have been right here. Yeah, right there. Now, as you can see, because it rejected the 200 EMA and it made a violent push down. I did grab it breaking below this candle right here, so I grabbed it at 10:07. So it was right in here. I think it was this red candle right here when it went below this this area, but I think I was actually looking for it to go below the 157. I think I remember in the room that if I said if it gets below this area that it's gonna dump. So I ended up getting it right here. It did pop up a little bit, and sometimes you gotta let plays work out. You know, nothing's gonna go straight down. You gotta go by the prices on the options and not the prices on the no, sorry, you need to go by the stock price and not the option prices. Option prices, they just fluctuate so much, you'll get stopped out all the time. So go by the chart, not by the prices of option. If the prices of option scare you, reduce your size, make smaller size, and remove the emotion. So yeah, I got it right here, just like I was saying earlier, that if it did break below this area, it was going to push hard. It did right here. I mean, look at that. It did break and it pushed hard, and you'd be chasing it in this drop right here, but you're probably chasing it after the theta in this little run right here, but whatever. I did grab the 150 puts at $1.02, and they went to $1.52 right here. So yeah, grabbing it right here, and then it chopped a little bit for like 20 minutes or so, and then it finally dropped. I mean, theta did work out, did take a little bit of it, so I just had to be patient on it. So $1.02 to $1.52 on that. Then the next two ones were, last two were SPY on the day of Tuesday. Let's see. Okay, I grabbed 324 puts at 1043, which is probably right 1043 right here on the push down. It gets up, rejects the RC trend line. It gets up and tries to retest the high, and rejected, pushed through VWAP, grabbed it right here for a new low. So I grabbed the 324 puts at 88 cents and went to $1.59 on that little push right there. Then I ended up grabbing 327 puts at 223, which is probably right here. I think it was probably right here, right in this area, right in here. I grabbed it. It might have been right in this candle, thinking it was going to push back to VWAP hard, and it didn't. It chopped for a little bit, being Tuesday. I mean, it didn't get theta, didn't wreck it too much like it would have done on the expiration day. So I did go from 103 to 115 right here, and then I called it a day, because there's 7 wins, and I don't want to trade way too much. Sometimes the days I will trade a lot are Fridays, because obviously prices are cheap, and if my day is going well and the setups are there, I will keep trading and trading and trading. As long as I keep winning and hitting the calls, I'll keep going and going and going. Usually I have if I take 2 losses in a day, I'll stop. I don't want to add to losses. I don't care if there's a massive end of the day pop or not. I'm not going to take it. This is always going to be another day. I'm not going to take unnecessary losses, even though I did this week, and it's going into Wednesday, and we're going to do that. Show you I did. So Apple and SPY. Okay, start with Apple. Let's get SPY on the right day. Okay. Apple on the 20, right there. Okay, now I grabbed, let's see, Okay, I grabbed Apple 108.75 puts at open at 91 cents. I grabbed them at 9.34. Now I remember saying right here that if it does break below this 111 area, that it's gonna dump, because as you can see, the day before, we bring it out just a little bit. As you can see, the day before, I mean, it had Apple had this big run right here, then a big gap up. So I was watching it, and it did drop. I didn't grab it right there, but I was watching it, and I noticed that it dropped and popped pre-market, and it consolidated. So to me, it looked like it was going to drop. So when I saw that it was going to go underneath 111, I grabbed puts. Now, it did pop up after it a little bit, but I wasn't worried about it. As long as it stayed underneath the pre-market high, I was fine. I would let it do its thing, and 108.75 puts is not really too far out of the money, and they went far in the money. So they went from $1 to, actually no, sorry, they went from 91 cents to $3.05 on that drop, and they went in the money that day. So that was a nice solid play. Then I ended up grabbing SPY 329 puts at 9.58, which should be right in here. The push through the 200 EMA is underneath the after hours trading right here. I saw that it was in this support area right in here, so I knew that was right there. So when it pushed through the 200 EMA, and let's see, we'll bring that out. I mean, SPY had that big end of the day pop on Monday, and it went and popped the end of the day Tuesday, and it had a decent, somewhat steady gap up. I mean, it wasn't that much of a gap up, but enough where it was kind of weak. It consolidated, dropped, consolidated. So, I mean, it looked like it was a strong indication that it was probably going to end up dropping. So I missed this because of Apple. But when I saw it push through the 200 EMA, I was like, okay, everything was starting to look really, really weak, and I wanted to get in, and it chopped, and it just slammed. So those 329 puts went from let's see, 80 cents to $6.91 right there. So that was a very good play. Then I had BA 152 puts at 92 cents at 10.12, which was right here. Now, as you can see, it gapped up a little bit, and like I said earlier in the video, that BA just when it pops, it gives back all its gains and then some. Like as you can see on Tuesday, and it has a history of doing that. BA used to be such a great ticket to trade, and it's just, this thing just can't get out of its own way, and it just bleeds. So when it popped up and again harshly rejected back, and it got below this 157 area, I grabbed the puts at 152.50 puts at 92 cents. They went from $3 to 62 cents right in this drop. So they went right in the money that day. I mean, I figured they'd go a lot higher than 362 than what it did, because it had such a harsh move down and it went in the money. So I was a little surprised they only went from 92 to 362. So, but it is what it is. So Roku was the next one. Let's see. Now Roku is still watching, because you know, this big day on Monday. Then it didn't do much right here. It dropped, it popped back up, consolidated, and stayed in this 193.50 area. So when I saw it pop up at on Wednesday, and it harshly rejecting below VWAP, I did grab the Roku 152.50 puts. I grabbed them at 10.36, which should have been right here. No, must have been right in here. Somehow I grabbed them right here. I should have grabbed them right here, but I'm kind of glad. I'm glad that maybe I missed it and grabbed. I did grab it up here when it rejected the VWAP. I did grab that there at 10:36. You can see the timestamp on Twitter and Discord, and they went from $1.09 to 18, so they went 200% just in this little drop right here. So considering that they were far outside the money, actually not too far, but yeah, they were, because it was up here at 195. So that's, even though Wednesday they were kind of expensive. Roku's expensive on Monday, so that's why I avoid them, because you got to go like $15, $10, $15 outside the money, and then it has to make a massive move to actually see some good gains. So yeah, so that was Roku. Then I had my 3 losses, and I'll bring up SPX. This was, I shouldn't have done what I did. I just took unnecessary losses on it. Let's see, the 23rd, which is right here. Now, as you can see, let me bring up, this is the 23rd. Yep. Some of the stupid things I was doing was I was trying to catch the knife, and I fell for every trap. Now, it had a big gap down, it started to pop up, then we had the big sell-off, so I was thinking we're going to get a massive short squeeze at the end of the day, and we didn't. So I grabbed 33 10 calls at 148, which I believe was right here, right in this area right there. So I made this big dip, and I had 2 little doji candles right here, green doji candles. Like, okay, we're gonna like pop, and it didn't, and it dropped. So that was loss number 1. I fell for that. And the next one was at 226, which I bet you was right 226. Like, oh no, that was the, no, this was the 226 one. 148. Where's 148? 148 right here. Oh, okay. This is it. I remember, because I was buying the double bottom right here and thinking it was going to squeeze. That was mistake number 1. So that was the 33 10 calls at 148. That was what I was doing right there, the double bottom, and it didn't. It slammed right here. Then we had the 2 green candles at 226. So I grabbed the 32.85 calls at 150. Okay, this is going to be a nice squeeze back up to at least then at 3,300 maybe, and she dumps. So I was like, okay, that's 2 losses. The double bottom I probably shouldn't have done, but this one looked like the double bottom was definitely an unnecessary loss. I should have waited for a green candle to go up before it got slammed on me. So that was mistake number 1. This one I could justify a little bit. It looked like it was going to, and then it just dumped. So that was loss number 2. Then I ended up grabbing the 3rd loss for Wednesday, which was the 32.65 calls at 80 cents. I got them at 324, which was right here. Now, got a wicked here, green candle, then we have the hammer, and boom, I'm in. We're going to get that end of the day squeeze. I thought for sure we were going to have it. I mean, usually 95% of the time when you have a big dump, there's usually a big end of the day squeeze. And there wasn't one. So that was the 5% that it did not happen, and that was loss number 3. And like I said, 6 of my 7 losses this week were SPX. And I took one and an unnecessary loss right there. That was definitely an unnecessary loss. I shouldn't have done that, but it is what it is. Try to catch a falling knife. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In that case, it didn't. Now, Thursday, I had, let's see. Okay, I'm going to go up my Twitter here. Okay, Thursday, I had Netflix and SPY. Okay, we'll start with Netflix. Netflix right here on the 24th. Okay, now, Netflix, I was looking at 490 calls at 9:30, right at the bell. I mean, right here you have this is Tuesday. It dropped down off the 200 EMA, popped. Then it had a big down day on Wednesday. So Thursday, I said if it got over this 470 area, that I was going to grab the calls, and I grabbed the 490 calls right here And the one thing I didn't like was 490. I had to go $20 outside the money on a Thursday, so that was expensive. And they did go from $1.15 to 221. So I was very satisfied with this little push right there, but it was very limited. So then I ended up grabbing 325 SPY calls at 946, which is probably right here. Yeah, right in here. Now, as you can see, I was trying to catch the knife on Wednesday. It did not work out. Consolidated in this area, and then I had a big push right here, right around 8:30. Then it consolidated, so I was watching for a push through VWAP. So I did grab. I had to make sure that the first candle formed before I even got on there, and plus I was watching Netflix, and then I grabbed the 325 calls at 95 cents at 946, which is right here, right when it pushed over this green candle. I grabbed them at 95 cents, and they went from 95 to 332 if you held all the way up. So that was a good little call rally. I was hoping that we would have got that at the end of the day Wednesday, because I would have been a huge monstrous gain on SPX, but I guess that's only good for Monday. And so then I ended up grabbing Roku puts on let's see, Thursday. Let's grab it right here. No, let's just look at Thursday. I don't want to look at Friday. Now I grabbed Roku puts at 1024, which was right here. It had a big sell-off, and it just kept going down, and it consolidated, and it was having a symmetrical triangle, but I was still looking for a push lower. And the reason I was looking for lower is I was looking at the hourly. I was looking if it gets below like this area right here, the 178. It's open air down here. I mean, it's got a long ways to go. I mean, it could go to 170, and it can get down here to 160. So I was looking for a big dump on Roku, but it did not happen. But they did go from, let's see, from 88 cents to 127 in this little push right here. So it was a quick little gain. And then I ended up grabbing Tesla and SPY. Now Tesla, I didn't play Tesla on Friday because it was very choppy. Back here, there's just been so much excitement going on with Elon Musk and the battery and stuff like that. So I mean, I had a Tuesday, I had a big dump, then it tried to recover, then just dump more on Wednesday. So then I was like, okay, if it stays in this area and gets over, this 373 area, that it would probably push. And because me, like I said before, doing the disconnect between the moving averages and the RCT trend line, even though the moving average is not too far away, but RCT trend line is, and it acts like a vacuum, and the price just goes right to it most of the time. So that's what I was looking for, plus the big sell-off. Went from 450 and it's down here to 360, so it's down 90 points. So I figured it's going to be at least a dead cat bounce. So I did grab the 410 calls at $1.50, right at, like I said, at 1053. I didn't grab it right there. I grabbed it right here. Right in here. Yeah, right there. This is where I grabbed it, right there. For some reason I grabbed it back. I thought I grabbed it here, but I didn't. I grabbed it right here. I was too busy with the other stuff. Too busy with SPY and Roku right there. But yeah, I did miss this right here. And I don't know if anyone in the room grabbed that or not. But when it came back down and used the 2037 and the VWAP as support, and they're all like bunched together right here, so that's usually a good sign for support. And I grabbed it right there at the 1053, and they went from $1.50 to 615 in this push. I mean, I was very surprised that they made a push to 400. So was it actually 400? 399.29. So that was the high of that candle. Yeah, so I was very surprised at the strong move right here. I mean, it did look like it was going to break out, and that's what that was the play. So it did. I was happy with that, and so that was a good solid play. The last play was I grabbed 323 puts on SPY at 156. So right here now. Using the RCT trend line, as you can see, it acts like a vacuum. It gets disconnected from it a little bit, and it just went up and rejected it. When I saw it go up and reject it, I did grab the 323 puts at 156. Actually, the price was at $1.06. So, but I got it at timestamp was 156. So right here. And they went from $1.06 to $2.69 in that little push on Thursday. So that was a nice little 100% right there. So no losses on Thursday. So yeah, I had more losses on Wednesday than I had in 2 weeks. It's crazy when you think about it. But Friday, I didn't play Tesla. I played. Let's get Friday up. The first one was BA and Netflix. Okay, BA and Netflix. Now I grabbed 149 BA calls right at the open. Let me just pull it up on this thing here so I can see what I'm doing. Oh no, I can't see it there. I have to look somewhere else. Yeah, I grabbed BA calls at 149. I was just seeing, okay, this is like a pre-market right here. You know, it's got a cup and handle pre-market, and I'm thinking, okay, if it gets over this 148, I think 148 was what I said in the room, which was this high right in here, pre-market. Actually, no. Yeah, pre-market. It's 4 a.m. Crazy. So when it got over 148, I grabbed the 149 calls of $1.06, and they went from $1.06 to $7.57 because it was a Friday and that pop. It was just insane. So that was a nice, strong, big opener move. It did make me a little nervous because, like I said, BA. This is the old BA on Friday. BA, this is how I used to play all the time, just straight up monstrous. Not a big pop and lose all its gain or just bleed. It just was good to see that BA did act like the old BA, so I was very satisfied with that. So then I ended up grabbing Netflix puts at 945, which was right here, right below the ORB, which is opening range breakdown. When it got below that, I did grab the 460 puts at $1.01, and this little push right here was a quick little scalp. Went from $1.01 to $1.35. You had to be fast on Fridays. Things are different. You got to be faster. You got to be more focused, and timing is everything, because if you don't time it perfectly, theta will destroy you, and you can't not hold and chop, or you'll get destroyed. Or if it doesn't even have to chop. I mean, you just have two inside candles in a row, it's just going to destroy the theta. So I'm going to be careful with that. Facebook was the next one. I grabbed Facebook puts at 10.09, which was right here. Now, when it rejected the VWAP and it just stayed in this area, I thought there were going to be a huge push down, so I got the 245 puts at 70 cents. As you can see right here, price is at 248-ish. 245 is right here. Just a small little snap is going to send those right in the money. That's why I love Fridays, that these options are at the money and on these big movers. So that's where you make your money. If your broker does not let you trade options on expiration days or after 2, get rid of them. You use a broker that lets you trade expirations. And everyone that keeps saying, oh, Webull this, Webull that, yeah, Webull may be good, okay, but I don't use them and I can't say anything about them. But I know is that you cannot trade day expiration after 2 p.m. So I would definitely have a broker that lets you trade day expiration dates after 2 p.m. because that's where the monsters are, is like at 3 o'clock, and change your change your broker and get that set up. And there is no perfect broker. Every broker has its flaw. Every broker has its issues. We both had issues on Friday, so there is no perfect broker. So anyone that says Webull is the best or this is the best, they all have issues. Some just have more than others. So I almost said Red Bull. Robinhood, they just terrible. You can't trade expiration days, so get rid of them. Enough with the rant. But yeah, they went from 70 cents to 95 right there. I was hoping for a big push down. It did not do that. Next one was Apple. Let's see. I'll bring up SPY over here. Now, Apple was a loss. I grabbed Apple 110 puts at 1030. 110 at 1030, which was right here, I believe. Now, oh yeah, okay. I remember what I did here. You have yesterday's highs right here, and I figured the market was going to dump because at this point, the market, what time was that again? 10:30. Where was the market at 10:30? Right here. Now, you got pre-market highs right here in the day before right there. So I was thinking, okay, the market's starting to consolidate, and it's probably going to dump right there. So, heck, that was at 10:30 though. Where is 10:30? Oh, right there. No. Oh, okay. The 200 EMA. I guess I was looking at that, but I was watching this area on SPY. So. But I ended up getting it here because the previous day's high was on Apple, and I thought it was going to reject, and it didn't. So that was loss number 1 for the day of Friday for the week. And it just popped, and it came back, but it didn't come back enough to go in the money. Because I did buy the 110 puts when it was at 109, so I bought them in the money. So when it popped up a little bit and came back down, I was like, okay, it will dump it, and they'll rebound and come back. And they didn't. Apple just went straight up from there and destroyed those. So yeah, that was not a great play. The next one was SPY at 11:02. At 11:02, which was probably right here. Yeah, right in here. Now, like I said, I was watching pre-market, and you can see right in here, this is like resistance. Yeah, after hours and pre-market. Well, actually overnight. I keep forgetting SPY trades overnight right here. SPY is one of those few tickers that it trades all 24 hours. And it did act as resistance, so I saw that. So when it started to wick right here and wick right here, I grabbed it right here. I grabbed the 323 puts at 80 cents. It popped up, slammed back down. I thought for sure we're going to break the 200 EMA and we're going to slam back down to the lows, and it popped up. So that was loss number 2. Then I ended up grabbing the SPY puts again. So this was a decent play. I mean, I had the right idea. It just didn't work out. I mean, every time there was a red candle, massive pop afterwards. A little bit of weakness, massive pop. It was never ending. It was very discouraging. So it did break out here. I was thinking of it right here, but I didn't. I grabbed the last loss of the week and the day was at 149, which was right here. I do remember this. I grabbed the double top from yesterday's highs, and that was the second unnecessary loss. I should have only had 5 losses this week. I mean, 5 legitimate losses. So, but this one, I got in prematurely using the previous day's highs as resistance, thinking we were going to get a harsh rejection. And I was thinking, okay, we were from 320, we'll say 321 to we're up 6 points on a SPY that's, it's not extreme, but usually SPY doesn't usually trade out of $5 ranges unless there's like a big catalyst, and there was a little bit of stimulus hype. But I mean, we've been have stimulus hype for weeks. I mean, we're in talks again, it pops. I mean, there's so much hopium, it's ridiculous. But yeah, I grabbed it right here. And that is not where I should have. I should have waited for it to get down here, probably the 326 area. I didn't wait for it. I wasn't patient. And I got in, like I said, at 327 puts at 93 cents, and she just popped up, and that was it. And I stopped for the day. I didn't want to add any more losses. I mean, you just gotta know when to call it a day, and I just called it a day. So that's what I did. Hopefully the recap has helped you and understand what I was doing. I mean, yeah, even I make mistakes. Even I misread the market sometimes. Nobody's perfect. And even though I finished the week with a decent win rate, it's still better than 90% of the people out there. But anyways, that's going to do it. Hopefully you find this helpful and beneficial. And just keep grinding and keep watching videos and never stop learning. Thank you.